What's up guys, it's your boy Dekkster here, and it is the month of November and the patch just recently hit, so there is a bit of a meta shakeup. I'm going to be going through the latest Vicious Syndicate report. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I just really enjoy their content, so be sure to check them out. Before we jump into things, I want to let you guys know that I do stream on Twitch. Be sure to check me out. Maybe you guys could stop by, you know, I'd appreciate that. But whatever. So first, let's look at class archetype distribution. You can see that at ranks 4 to 1, there are a ton of Warlocks. Lots of Zalae, lots of Even Lock, and then right below that we get Hunter with, you know, Cube Hunter taking the lead, fair amount of Secret Hunter as well. And then there's so many different Druid decks out there right now, with Token Druid being one of the smaller archetypes here. Closely behind that we got Rogue and then, you know, Paladin and all that. Once you get to Legend though, seems like Druid is the most popular. Malygos spikes in popularity. It's just a really strong archetype that has really high skill ceiling and is difficult to pilot. So maybe that's why you see more of it at Legend, but before that you don't run into too much Mally. It does seem like the most popular thing in general is just going to be Cube Hunter. And Cube Hunter's biggest counter seems to be Odd Paladin. So you're also going to see a lot of that. Let's look at the class frequency. Look at by day. We can see most things are staying a little bit constant. It does seem like Paladin has shot up over the past few days after the patch. Mage has dropped, of course, due to the Mana Worm nerf. And yeah, let's look at by week here. Druid actually falling in popularity. Even though they weren't directly nerfed, it seems like the patch did enough to kind of pull Druid back a little bit. And then once, of course, Paladin just shooting through the roof. Because Druids are pulling back, you're not seeing as many Druids. That means less spreading plague, which means Odd Paladin's gonna do a bit better. So yeah, the most drastic change seems to be Paladin. For the matchup win rates, you guys know how to read this thing. You know, you look at the X and Y axis, and green generally means it's going to be a good matchup. So if your deck has more green, that's probably good. Let's go ahead and look at power rankings. If we look at all ranks, we could see Even Lock, Odd Paladin, Cube Hunter, Even Shaman, and Even Paladin are all tier 1. Then going ranks 4 to 1, we only have 4 up there. Odd Paladin, Even Lock, Even Shaman, and Cube Hunter, with Odd Paladin being number 1 by a decent margin, actually. Once we hit Legend, there's only 3 in tier 1, and that's Odd Paladin, Cube Hunter, and Even Shaman. So if you're looking for one deck to kind of just ride through everything right now, it's probably going to be Odd Paladin, or Cube Hunter, or Even Shaman. Those are all doing fantastic. Let's go ahead and look at the meta score. Here is the 4-2-1 chart, and of course Odd Paladin insanely good. Then we got Even Warlock doing well. Oh yeah, how you read this thing? Further to the right, the more powerful. Higher up on the Y-axis, the more frequent, the more common the deck is. So Cube Hunter, very frequent and very powerful. Control Warlock, not too frequent, also not too powerful. All right, so I'm gonna go through each class and maybe talk about one deck or so that I find the most interesting. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to cover all the different archetypes because there's like 2, 3, 4 per class, and that's just too much to cover. So let's go ahead and start with Paladin. So Paladin has Odd Paladin, of course. And we got Even Paladin, and even recently I've been playing a Cube Paladin that seems to be faring pretty well. But number 1 is Odd Paladin, and we're gonna look at this list from Lightburn. This list is running a Bard, and the Bard, you know, it adds health, which is really good. Maybe helps protect you against a Defile, maybe a Swipe, something like that. And then we also got the Void Rippers in here to tech for Druids. So basically, you flood your board with dudes, you buff them up, you punch your opponent in the face. Your opponent is kind of forced to clear your board, which you can easily reflood by pressing your hero power button, maybe just throwing like a Lost in the Jungle, or just, you know, it's just so easy to reflood the board. Your opponent will be overwhelmed. They won't have enough ways to deal with your board. You get, you know, a ton of dudes on the board, and you hit them with the level up. It's just so difficult to deal with this unless you have this Spreading Plague card. Spreading Plague's pretty good and will kind of ruin you, but that's what the Rippers are there. But this is definitely a great choice. You're looking to climb relatively fast games as well as a high win rate, hopefully. So yeah, check out Odd Paladin, seems to be the number 1 deck right now. All right, so we also got Rogue. We got Odd Rogue, which is falling in popularity. Then we got Cube Rogue, Miracle Rogue, and Quest Rogue. Quest Rogue, not too popular at the moment, but it doesn't seem like it's fallen off too much. The giggling nerf did hurt it quite a bit, but it's still really powerful. But what I think is most interesting is the rise of this Cube Rogue. Here's Corbett's Corpsetaker Cube Rogue. There are other versions of this that, I guess they dropped the Corpsetaker package. You don't really need that, but this is the one Vicious Syndicate has featured, and you just get insane value, insane tempo here. Maybe you equip the blade on turn 3, you swing at their face, then you drop the egg. You do that second swing of the blade, triggers the egg, then maybe the following turn you hit it with a Necrium Vial, and all of a sudden you got like 3 5/5s on the board, and your opponent can't really deal with that. And then of course we do have the Corpsetaker in this version. And we got the Cold Blood, so you can throw Cold Blood on your Corpsetaker, you know, hit him for a ton. If that doesn't work, of course, just throwing a Cold Blood on like an egg or something is insanely good. And if eggs aren't cutting it for you, we do have the Mechanical Whelps, which are kind of like eggs, just a little more expensive. But yeah, if you're able to land a Whelp, you can maybe trigger that Whelp, make a 7/7, hit it with a cube, hit that cube with a vial, then you have a ton of dudes. Insanely fun deck and insanely powerful as well. We got 2 shiny finders in here just to make sure you can find those Necreum blades. Those blades are just so good. So good that it warrants running the shiny finders over Keleseth. So yeah, definitely check this one out as well. Of course, we also got Hunter here. We have Cube Hunters, we have Secret Hunters, and we have Spell Hunters. Spell Hunter seems to be the weakest. Secret Hunter doing really good. But number 1 is Cube Hunter. There are a couple versions of Cube Hunter. We have an Anti-Druid Cube Hunter, then we have an Anti-Aggro Cube Hunter. I personally like the Anti-Aggro because you're probably going to be seeing a little bit more aggro. You're going to be seeing probably a decent amount of odd paladins. And I feel like the deck is already kind of good against Druid. So with this list, the dream is to go Devil's Soar Egg into a Terrascale Stalker, maybe a Play Dead as well, and of course just flood that board. Your opponent can't deal with that. You slam Shaw down, you just start getting rushes on all your minions. Maybe you put a Grizzly down against an aggro deck and they can't deal with it. Then you cube it, hit that cube with the Play Dead, and now all of a sudden you have 3/12 taunts that Zoo is just gonna struggle against, or you know, Paladin will struggle against that as well. We have Katharina, the Katharina package, the recruit package here. Pulling out a Grizzly is insanely good. Pulling out King Crush is good as well. And yeah, Katharina is just insane value. Plus we have the Rexar in there, turning your hero power into just this monster. The build beast is just so much fun, and you can outvalue almost any opponent with this thing. One of my favorite cards in this deck is the Spider Bomb. Just so awkward for your opponent to deal around it. They can't really develop the board because they're gonna lose the board. Maybe you hit it with the Play Dead as well. The deck is so versatile, so much fun. It is a bit expensive, but if you can afford to make this, you can ride this thing out. This is a great list. All right, so for Shaman, we do have even Shamans, which are doing really well, but it seems like Shudderwock's on the rise. It's coming back. We just got the standard Shudderwock Shaman list, very similar to days past. I guess the main difference here is that Electra Storm Surge, which adds a lot of versatility. Maybe use it with your Lightning Storm, maybe use it with the Healing Rain, sometimes even just a Farsight. But I mean, this thing is great at slowing down aggressive decks. You just throw up taunts, you hit them with the Storm, you hit them with the Volcano, you throw down a Healing Rain, throw out some Life Drinkers, get your combo ready, then you just slam Shudderwock. And at that point, you kind of win. The rise in Shudderwock is kind of due to the nerf to Quest Rogue. You're not seeing as many Quest Rogues. Quest Rogue just dominated Shudderwock, so because that's gone, Shudderwock's coming back. So if you missed Shudderwock, definitely go back to checking it out right now. Really strong in this meta. Priest is making somewhat of a comeback. We do have the Asmodai Resurrect Priest, which is doing great, but it seems like more common, at least to me, what I've seen more of on the ladder is Zalae's combo Resurrect Priest. This thing is very nutty. We're running Topsy-Turvy over Inner Fire because we don't want to get ruined by Geist. But yeah, you can throw out a Blade Master, heal that up, it has 7 health. You can throw down a Grizzly and you want them to kill it, and then you res it back, and then you hit it with a Divine Spirit, you know, Topsy-Turvy, smack them in the face. Grizzly works pretty much the same as the Stegotron. Stegotron dies, you res it back, you buff up its health, and you smack him in the face. All this combined with the really strong control aspects of maybe Akanai's Soul Priest, combined with the Circle of Healing to clear your opponent's board. And then we got the Psychic Scream to slow opponents down as well. This list is looking really good, and I definitely want to jam some of it. So Mage, not a lot of good Mage lists out there due to the nerf of the Mana Worm. You're not seeing big spell mages. It's just not too competitive right now, but we do have a rise of Murloc Mage. Murloc Mage really minion heavy. Of course, most of those minions being Murlocs. And then we're running Book of Specters, which kind of gives the draw engine to this whole deck. That combined with Stargazer Luna for even more draw, and the Aluneth for even more draw. It seems like your hand is never empty. If you can get a Nut Mulligan, go like Tidecaller into Rockpool Hunter, into maybe a Seer or an Amalgam, into a Megasaur, it's just so strong. It's really difficult for your opponent to deal with, and you kind of just win. If they end up getting a big taunt you can't get through, you hope to get over that with your Fireballs and your Frostbolts. But this list feels very synergistic. I'm really enjoying this one. And who would have thought Murloc Raider would actually be in a highly competitive deck? All right, for Warrior, similar to Mage, not a lot of lists out there. Just seems to be that odd warrior, sometimes the Odd-Taunt warrior. I'm personally an advocate of the Odd-Taunt warrior. I do like that quest in there to kind of give you a win condition so you can pressure those control decks. With this standard Odd-Taunt warrior, you just slam the quest on one. You complete it by throwing Stonehill Defenders, Tar Creepers, Direhorn Hatchlings, you know, Phantom Militias, and then you get the balls. You start throwing the balls. They can't deal with it, and they never expect that Blackwalled Pixie. You go ball, Pixie, ball, you kill them. It's so much fun throwing the balls. And then yeah, we're good at dealing with aggro because of course the taunts, and then we have Reckless Flurries, we have brawls in here, we have the colliders, which are incredibly frustrating, and the Dynomatics to even help clear board more. The main downfall of this does seem to be Death Rattle Hunter, which is really popular, so it's maybe not the best time to play Taunt Warrior because they just constantly build beasts with their Rexar and you don't have enough means to kind of deal with all that. You get through your shield slams, maybe kill a couple things with your colliders and your dino, and then you're out of ways to deal with their big beasts, and you're just gonna get smacked in the face and die. But I do enjoy this list, and if you're not seeing a lot of Death Rattle Hunters, might as well check it out. I really hope a new warrior list comes out. This is all we got for now. So we do also have Druid, of course. There's Mally Druid, there's Togwaggle Druid, there's Token Druid, there's Mechathune Druid, there's Taunt Druid, and I think the most interesting one right now actually seems to be Token Druid, just because there was a big shakeup. Giggling was such a core part of the deck. You know, throwing the Gigglings with a Strong Shell Scavenger or something like that was insanely good, and it was like the top deck. But due to the nerf of Giggling, the deck's kind of got to be reworked. So we're kind of going back to the Violet Teachers here. And with the Oaken Summons, bringing the Teachers out, bringing the Golem out, it feels really nice. Doesn't feel as powerful as before, at least to me. Somewhat missing that Scavenger list, but it did need a nerf. But yeah, here the plan is you go wide with the Teacher. Your opponent has to use some AoE maybe, and then after that you can slam your combo. The dream being Woods into Soul of the Forest. So if your opponent clears the board, they have to clear it twice. And if they can't clear it, you just hit it with a Savage Roar, maybe some Branching Paths, and you just smack them in the face and you win. But yeah, definitely enjoying this Token Druid list here. If you have the cards for it, I would try it out. Mally Druid does seem to be a bit stronger, and Togwaggle Mechathune are also really strong as well. All right, and last but not least, we do have Warlock. We have Even Warlock, we got Zoo Warlock, Cube Warlock, Control Warlock. My personal favorite is Mechathune Warlock. I think it's a little underrated, but nobody plays it, so there's no way to really know. The list I'm going to be talking about is Even Warlock. So Even Warlock is really good right now because of the nerf to not only Quest Rogue, but Aggro Mage. Aggro Mage is almost a guaranteed loss when you were playing this thing. So because you're not seeing that anymore, might be a good time to pick up some Even Lot. Odd Paladins being everywhere these days, this seems like a really good choice. We got those Defiles. Of course, we always have Taunts here. We got Dread Infernals, we got Mossy Horrors in here, and it's just really difficult for your opponents to get through all these taunts if they're playing an aggro list. Then if you're playing against Druid or something like that, you have so many big boys, you know, the 4-mana 7/7 hooked Reavers, you got Twilight Drakes, of course Dread Infernals again is even nicely statted here, and you got Lich King and the Giants. It's just, they don't have enough naturalizes to kind of deal with that. So this list is good against Druid, it's good against Paladin, and it feels like there's really no polarized matchup, which makes the list feel great. Hunter is a little bit difficult, but if you can manage to dodge Hunters, just that feeling that you can almost win every game, there's no instant concedes, it just makes it great. But yeah, that's about it, boys. I'm currently really enjoying the meta. Things might change a lot here. It does seem like Paladin's gonna become #1, and then in order to counter Paladin, you're gonna be seeing a lot of Druids, and then in order to counter the Druids, then maybe it actually shifts to like even Paladin or something like that. I think the meta is gonna be pretty exciting up until the upcoming expansion at least. So it's a good time for Hearthstone right now. I'm really glad they finally implemented that patch. Yeah, once again, thank you to Vicious Syndicate for these reports. If you guys want to check me out on Twitch, I would definitely appreciate that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the meta. What's your favorite deck? I don't know. Hit the video with a like, I guess, if you liked it or whatever. Hit that sub button because it makes me feel better about myself. Follow me on Twitter and all that crap. Stay hydrated and good luck on ladder.